This is Power Partners, our first podcast ever of people that we find and collect all around the world. We call them global gems. And we bring them into our Power Partnership because it's important for us to develop a community of people that think alike. And speaking of people that think alike, my little brother's over here, Mike Ibrahim, that's also the founder of RewardLion, a very important company for who we are as BOWAstudiios. Mike, introduce yourself. Let them know who you are.
So I'm Mike, the founder and CEO of RewardLion Powered Solutions. It's AI-powered solutions. And today we have Ryan and Tiffany with us on the podcast. And Ryan is the founder of New Way Enterprise. And let me move to Ryan and let him speak about his achievement in his company.
Thank you, guys. Well, number one, thank you both for having us on the first, am I right? The first podcast. So we feel super special. So yeah, I'm the founder and CEO of New Way Enterprise. We're a reg tech company. So we build software as a service for mainly regulatory compliance laws. So whether it be federal or whether it be state. And Tiffany here, my fiance, she is the chief operations officer of the company. Tiffany?
I mean, he kind of already gave me a nice little intro, but yeah, we are engaged, and I am the COO of both New Way Enterprise as well as NYLTA.com.
I got a question for you, Tiffany. I'm a business owner. How do I know if I need compliance?
Well, that's where we come in. With our not only technology, but also on our websites, everything we do is based on education, because compliance can be scary. It can be overwhelming. Also, we do it and it's geared towards business owners. And most business owners, they don't have time to deal with these things. They're busy, focused on making sure they're running successful businesses. So as I mentioned, that's where we come in, and we're all about education, and we're doing the work for you so you don't have to.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so what kind of industries or what kind of professions mostly need compliance?
All. If you think about it, if you're a business owner, the biggest challenge is when you're a small business owner, you don't have a compliance department. You don't have somebody, unless you have your attorney. And most small businesses, they're trying to keep the lights on, let alone trying to make their business successful. So the challenge is that these individuals, they don't know when a law shifts. They don't know when a law comes about. They don't know what they're supposed to file. They only know that they filed their paperwork to start their business. But what happens when a new law comes along? So it shifts the dynamic of these people not knowing. And what does that do? It puts their business at risk. So NYLTA was created by New Way Enterprise to shift that to where these people are now, they have the ability to partner with a company that has their back, that can be their compliance department. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But I know a secret about your company.
Yes, please.
I know that you guys just did an amazing pivot because of laws. And that, I have to tell you, was very impressive to find out about the details that you guys did. Can you tell us how, because this is what you also are watching out for other people.
Yeah.
It happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. You want to expand on this a little bit?
Sure. So as you know, we are NYLTA.com, and it is based on the New York LLC Transparency Act. There was originally a corporate transparency act that was federal level. So we've been focusing on the state of New York with their new law. Originally, as it was enacted, it was going to be towards both domestic and foreign LLCs that needed to file either beneficial ownership information or exemption attestations. Well, the day before we're supposed to essentially launch, it came about that domestic companies no longer needed to file, and we had to pivot. We had to change what it was that we were offering, and it was no longer about filing your paperwork, but it was about making sure you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So we were able to change it to a monitoring service, making sure you check your status and see if this applies to you or maybe it doesn't apply to you. So how else can we be of service to you? And that's where the monitoring comes in.
And what happens, like the law changed like what? Oh, like 3 hours before the launch, right?
So on December 31st, late afternoon, I get an email from the New York Department of State, and they're giving guidance instructions, and it shows that domestic companies no longer need to file. So when you look at the pool of domestic companies, you're looking at probably 1.8 million companies, and now they're saying that domestic companies no longer need to file. Neither do they need to file an exemption attestation. So now the pool is much smaller. So as a business, we look at it like, okay, well, how can we still fulfill our obligation in protecting companies? And that's when the idea dawned on us. We need to monitor this because this is an evolving law. It's not one and done where it's changed and that's it. Any new law usually has updates where they give new guidance over a period of time. So the last thing that we want to do is leave New Yorkers alone and they don't have that proper guidance, because if the law shifts, who's going to make them aware? Nobody. They're not going to know because they're going to be caught up in what they're doing is focusing on their business. So that's why they're able to partner with us so we can monitor the law. We can send out press releases. We can send out emails, we can send out blogs to give them a proper service where they are fully aware all the time. So they never have to worry about, oh, well, when is this going to apply to me?
And when the law is in effect again, then you just file for them.
Correct. Correct.
That's amazing.
Right. Correct.
That's almost like credit monitoring nowadays.
Sure.
You know, I get triggered, someone looked me up or something, or there's a change or whatever. And so that's on a personal level, our credits, or, you know what I'm saying? Or whether it's a business or whatever. We have, nowadays, if you're smart, you have a service like that.
Right.
And you guys are providing this service for the business owner who's running around doing what they're great at, and we're not great at compliance,
right?
You know, and so now there's a company that you pay a nominal fee for. I think it's very reasonable, and every company should have this service for compliance for them. But I also want to talk about a little bit about the relationship that RewardLion has with your company and what you guys have done and pushed it and just built this monster. Whoa! Tell people about that.
So I met Mike some years ago through a friend. And at that time, I didn't know what he did. I knew that he was in marketing and so forth. And at that time, I was still doing helping somebody else build their sales company. So, you know, we never really had a good discussion. We just always talked about cigars and what men like and stuff like that. So a few years later, you know, at this point, now I'm an entrepreneur. Me and her were in a business together. I see him at the cigar bar and I say, you know, he asked me, so what are you doing now? And I said, so we do an online service where we provide a filing service. And we help individuals file certain documentation with the federal government. And he says, oh, okay. And he's like, you know, well, I help businesses like yours. And he went through Google and marketing and this. And I said, oh, wow, this is, we need this. So I said, okay, well, tell me more. And so he just kind of piqued my interest because I knew that I am not able to do everything. But what I'm good at is finding people that can. So he broke it down for me on what RewardLion is. And RewardLion is way more than what I thought it was, right? The infrastructure, the people, the technology, the resources was beyond what I had thought. And I mentioned to her, and then she's like, wow, this is great. So that's when we started. Our friendship went to a business relationship and still a friendship. And here we are a year later, and he's helped us with 2 of our businesses, you know? So it's allowed us to have an infrastructure that we don't have to maintain in-house, or we can maintain in-house but very small portion because now they operate as our facilitator with marketing and technology. So that's a huge upswing for businesses because businesses have to spend resources and this and that and have certain people in place when you now can outsource to a company that has the track record that's proven that they've aligned with not only just our industry, but hundreds of different industries. So to us, it made all the sense to have that partnership.
Yeah. The RewardLion, the program with RewardLion, it really has 3 layers. It's you have the RewardLion OS, it's the technology side, and then you have me basically, you know, coaching and strategizing with the owners And then you have the third part, which is very important, is the caps. Is the ANAS.
Yes.
You know, the team that you meet, getting Maria to do the bulk filing, getting ANAS to do it. So what that gives to the business owner, it gives him his own team without paying the payroll for an entire team.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes down the costs, improves the efficiency. And like what happened in New Year's, when he had to make a pivot decision, it was done from a Friday night.
Yeah, it was
done
that Thursday.
by
It was
Monday.
Thursday, and we restructured everything from the development of the website to the verbiage of the website, the marketing materials, the infrastructure. Everything was turned around from Thursday. By that Monday, we launched.
By Monday, we already repositioned the SEO strategy and the publication strategy. Publication went up like the following day. We repositioned, the GEO and all the new technology, because now search, like on AI, when you do searches, AI is not just giving you answers now; it tells you where to go to.
Yeah.
And that's why when you go on ChatGPT or Gemini, you want to research, and if you're not on that platform, because this is the second level of SEO, people won't know, because people don't search Google like they used to.
Yeah.
They go more like on ChatGPT, and they're like, oh, what should we do? And they're like, oh, NYLTA, you need to go to nylta.com. So all this was done in 2-3 days because everyone was connected.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Maria on this side was working on the bulk filing. Anas was working on this one. The SEO team was working on that. The programmatic, I think the digital banners, we took it down like the same minute. And that gives power to the owner, because the last thing you want, like they're helping owners by, we will monitor and we will file for you so they can focus on their business. The same thing, RewardLion. We will work on all the in and outs and the technology and all that bullshit that has nothing to do with your business. It's just to bring people to your business so you can deliver what you promise. We try to make it as, efficient as possible. And in the same time, we want to make it cost effective. We don't want to charge people an arm and a leg to do it. Because usually, in order to have this infrastructure, you need, let's say, a CTO. What are they? Like 150,000 a year?
Yes.
Easy.
To start.
Yeah.
Then you need a marketing manager, and then you need like paid ad strategists, and you need this and this, and then you need the SEO that has a lot of parts, programmatics, and then the technology. A small and medium-sized business cannot afford it. The only people that can afford it are like big corporation, McDonald's, all that stuff.
For sure.
And that's why they have advantage, and you and the small business don't. So how were we able to make all this happen for the owner itself is by providing them a team that. Do you feel like it's your team?
Oh yeah.
The caps.
So, the biggest thing for me was, and over time when we started this project, it was back in August, when I told Mike, hey, from our other business, I said, I have this new idea. He said, okay, well, when you're ready to do this, I said, it's going to be about 6 months. And then when I've already worked with this team, so I already knew what they were capable of. So they saw my vision very quickly. And seeing my vision was very important to me, because it's are they aligned with us? And that made the process even much more smooth, because when we needed to adapt and pivot, they were right there every step of the way. So having that relationship, they understand our business now. And that is crucial, is that when you're inviting somebody in, they don't know the ins and outs. And as a CEO, as a chief operations officer, our job is to help these people understand our vision. Because if you get a marketing company and you tell them, okay, well, I need you to do this, well, they're only going to be as good as you tell them about your business. So how do you expect it to work if you're not involved in the process? So that was key. And Mike coached us through that process, right? So that's what made everything that we've done. Without RewardLion, we would probably be 5 to 6 months behind the people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's also talk about, because you guys are individuals, right? But an individual that's together, you said she was your fiance.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And so how is that dynamic, being such high-level, C-level execs in your company and sharing the bed?
You want to start with that one?
Sure.
Yeah.
So before this, not company, but the way we were moving with technology and compliance, we were in financial services. And it was in that space that the company we were working with, they really encouraged couple power. And it hasn't been easy because you're working together and you're in a relationship, and it's, you have to do this, or no, you need to do this, or you're doing this wrong, or, you know, so it was finding our place, what we were good at, and honing in on that. So that way we were basically in our own lane. We didn't want to have, stepping on each other's toes or anything like that. So once we were able to find our lane, it has made the process and working together that much easier. And then that's just on the business side. But then when it comes to the relationship side, we're very big with our faith. So constantly going to church, going to therapy. We make it a point to go on dates. That's a must have. We have to make sure we have one date night a week. And try to separate a little bit because it can get a little messy. So it's been a learning process, but has been a great reward.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, she hit on some key areas. Is that, especially for me, it's sometimes hard to separate the business from the relationship because we're always in business mode. We're doing everything together. We're constantly together. So when we're at dinner, it's okay, shut the phone off. We're here. Where are we going for vacation? What are we doing for Christmas? Whose birthday's coming up? Because we're so engulfed in business, and and it could get away from both of us. So being intentional and I think being around the right relationships has helped our relationship, not outside of the business, but because you have to continue dating each other. You have to love each other. You have to be spiritually connected to each other. And for two individuals, especially when you're dealing with two alphas, we had to learn, okay, you're the CEO in your part of the business, even though she's chief operations officer, but I'm the CEO in my part of the business when we were working in the financial services. So it prepped us to be where we are today. Without that timeline, I don't think we would exist here.
No.
I really don't.
No, that's cool. Yeah, we separated it differently. He's the CEO within the businesses, but I'm the CEO at home.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
And that's how we treat it. I get to make all the decisions in the house, and he gets to make the final decisions, in our businesses. And even though I run my own business, my own organization within our team, I still rely on him.
Sure.
He's a visionary, and so I want to see that. And I know that Lila and you also run very similar, and I can't wait that she gets here.
She runs the house.
Right.
She's
the
boss.
CEO of the house, right?
She's the CEO. I know that.
Yeah.
And she runs the finances, like she runs the house. I don't even know where anything is.
Right.
Like she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the house, she takes care of me all the time. That's why you always see that small coffee coming in.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just work on the business, on the providing side. Now, in the business, she doesn't want to get involved too much. She's like, just the finances. I don't want to be committed to anything else. Because she's really happy with her freedom and with her, structure, taking the kids here, there, traveling. So, but who's in charge in the house, really? Like, she's the CEO in the house. I'm the CEO in the company.
Right.
And that's it. And I take advantage of that when there's finance. Hey, where's the task?
Right. I get that. Right.
But yeah, and you know what? That is part of these different topics that we've been talking about: business, family, relationships, all that. That is what's important to our team, to our power partners, to know that we're real people, that we're not just machines, that we're not just, and everybody's not cut from the same cloth at all. Yeah. And so we have different perspectives and opinions and experiences. And I believe that's what our intention is, and Bert's intention has always been with Power Partners, is to bring that here. And that's why we're bringing that here. And you've been a Power Partner for a couple of months now, and you've been a Power Partner for over a year now. And so you guys are the most important thing in our lives. Our partners are the most important things in our lives. And that's why we wanted to bring them here. And I know that you guys are movers and shakers. I didn't meet you until today.
Yeah.
And whoa, I love it. but just him representing your family has been inspirational, and you've been honest and raw, and I think that's what we bring to the table as partners, where we go in there and we are honest about our business and our lives and our relationships, and you have these people that are like-minded, and we're there working these problems out together as a group. You know, and we're analyzing things and giving you all these different perspectives in there, and I love our partners.
And one of the things I respect about them both, like really, when shift happened, they were down probably $500,000 because of what just happened, but they still stayed. Like, people could have done many things. They could have just launched. People wouldn't know, but they stayed really with good integrity and honesty, and they're like, no, we'll take the hit, we'll educate people, and we'll recover. And that tells you about that. It's like, it's not the business, it's who's running the business. That's what's important. And with them, with those two, I would really just, like, if I'm a New Yorker, I would definitely be on that monitoring, on the compliance section. Because
I think all businesses need what you guys are having, and it needs to go nationwide.
It's eventually gonna go. Right now, New York, the same way they switched like this, they could switch back. But if they switch back, the business owner will get harmed. Like what, $500 a day is the fine. Like the fines, they're not just like a slap on the wrist. It's a real serious fine. $500 a day. If a business owner discovers he needs to file a month later,
that's $15,000. That's $15,000.
Well, I had a partner that didn't know, and it was a year and a half of fines. And like, you want to see a meltdown,
right? And what does that do for a small business owner? Like, let's say it's a photographer, a plumber,
run them out of business,
right? And listen, these people are just trying to keep their lights on. Now they have to deal with some type of fee, nominal fee that they have to pay now. Where the thing is the challenge is a state or a government going to say, hey, oh, by the way, we're going to send this to you? No, it's usually after the fact, and there's already damage done. It's almost like the IRS, right? You don't know, and you don't get something in the mail till a while down the street, and then you're like, oh my God, what? Now you're frightened. And so why go through that? There's no reason for a business owner to do that. And the last thing is that they don't. The problem, the challenge is, I don't want to say problem. The challenge is that they're just not educated. And it's our job to educate. Just like Mike said, we could have launched and take all these filings and store it in our system and, run some kind of, one-off company. But that's not what we built this, because we had one thing in mind, was always the end user. It was always the end user. It's never about, the company was built specifically for the people of New York, to keep them aligned, to keep them in the know. And that's the biggest thing, is we wanted to have that integrity. So, because what does that do? It ruins our our relationship with the customers, but also then when you start looking up NYLTA.com, our reputation. Now what happens? For what? To make a few dollars? No.
And NYLTA is the only company that is doing like the monitoring review. Like they're gonna review if you need to file or if you don't need to file.
That's so important.
That's the only company that does it. So now, as a business owner, I don't even know, am I domestic? Am I foreign entity? What's the gray area here? What did the government give them? A PDF. Go read a PDF at a hidden
and
website.
Understand it.
So if you take a look at this PDF, right? This PDF form that they released, it's very confusing. And then you have to send in an authorization form for your credit card into an email address.
Yeah, there's no portal. You have to email your information.
Whoa.
So how much security risk is that? So the challenge is we understand the New York Department of State had to pivot with this law as well, because they weren't expecting the law to change at the moment that it changed because of the veto that came from the governor. So I don't think they truly understood. And that's why there's so much uncertainty. There's more rollout to come. And that's why I tell business owners, listen, this is not a one and done. There's going to be more changes. You need to be vigilant. And that's why
we don't need to be vigilant. We need to hire you.
and that's where we come in. We come in as the heavy lifters. We do everything from A to Z, where we just report to you, tell you, hey, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do. Send us this, and we take care of it. So why wouldn't you want to partner with a company that the number one thing is that they have your back? They have your back.
And right now, let's say for anyone that still doesn't understand what's going on, and luckily he's a foreign entity, he's getting fined $500 every day.
Right. Right.
And they don't know. There's no
they don't know.
information.
There's no way for them to know.
We know
Until it's too
because we
late.
work with Ryan. But if we don't work with Ryan, we would not know that law happened at what point and what's the procedure. Until now, your average business owner, even the lawyers and the accountants, they don't know what to do right now. Like there is no clear answer. Okay, foreign entities need to file. Where?
Right. Where do we
what?
file? Right. What do I file?
And
what
how?
information?
Yeah,
Right.
it's none of it is there. You have to learn it.
Right.
That's one of the reasons that we created the Power Partners, is because there's a lot of gaps in business as business people that are not taught to you, not even school. I mean, a lot of the things I didn't even learn, and I went to business school and I have a degree in marketing, and I didn't even learn those things at the university.
Right.
You have to figure them out when you're in business, when you have boots on the ground. And so those are the things that Bert has dedicated his life to bringing that kind of information from people like you guys. You know, the three of you are amazing and real professional people that care. And I don't know if it's the foundation or what it is or anything, but I think that I feel blessed to know all three of you.
Thank you.
And knowing that we're going to be connected and through our friendship, whatever it develops into for many, many years. And that is, I first of all, I want to thank you, Ryan, Tiffany, Mike. I'm not even going to thank you. You know how I feel about you. Anyway, but I also want to let you know that we invite you, all of us, we invite you to come and learn from the Power Partners that we bring here, because these are stand-up individuals. Otherwise, we wouldn't put them on the show. Really, we wouldn't. And being our first launch, I think you guys were the excellent choice to start the Power Partners podcast.
Thank you for having us.
And we hope to learn a lot more from people like this that have big hearts, lots of information, and good business acumen. So, interesting enough, Power Partners, you can find the partners there, but how do they find you? How do they find Ryan and Tiffany?
Okay, so my personal Instagram is Ryan the Founder _ and then you could just look up Ryan De Freitas and then NYLTA. Just look up anything on social media, any platform, NYLTA, NYLTA official, NYLTA.com. You'll find us. Would you say?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Can we find you on all social media?
Yes.
All social media.
All social media,
All,
LinkedIn.
and yes, every
TikTok.
single platform.
Oh, what about RewardLion? Can we find you on all social media?
Just Google it.
That's awesome. Is there anything you'd like to a message that you'd like to let the audience know?
Yeah, I mean, a good message is, entrepreneurship, being a business owner, it comes with a lot of challenges. And the more you focus on, yourself, the people around you, and what you do and what your end goal is, I think, the challenges are always going to be there. But if you push forward, never give up on a dream. Just because the landscape might change doesn't mean that you just jump out and do something else, because then you'll constantly do that over and over and over. Stick with what you're doing, be passionate, be ambitious, and have fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Wise words from a young one. What about you, Tiffany? What do you got? What do you want to leave everybody with?
What we touched on as far as being a couple in business and how it's helped us strengthen, our relationship and grow and create what's going to be a legacy. I would say, like you said, have fun and really surround yourself with people who have same values. Surround yourself with people who are in, marriages, who have their partners, because, with the foundation of a good relationship, everything else will flourish.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Mike?
So I think Power Partner is really about building a relationship with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And having the foundation that there's people you can reach out to and talk to that share your pain. Maybe some have more experience, some been through it. And what that helps you, it helps you avoid huge mistakes. And the other thing Power Partner is doing is it's giving you technology that can build your business, because every business needs a technology. You can't have just a vision and I'm like, unless we're opening a hot dog stand, but we're not. So you need the technology, you need the know-how of the technology, and you need the good people around you that can tell you this works, this doesn't work. Hey, I'm doing a landing page with a new offer. This works, this doesn't work. Like the NYLTA, you could go through certain things where it pivots again. You can have someone in the Power Partner that is a lawyer. He's like, you know what? Be careful. Do this. Don't do that. And that's what Power Partner is really about. It's about sharing, not holding back from each other. As long as you're part of the Power Partner, we share. And the technology RewardLion has, it's all there included. Like every Power Partner is going to have the technology.
Yeah.
So now you can have, the knowledge of the people and the wisdom, and in the same time, the technology that can help you.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
I like what you have to say. All right. So I feel very honored to have these Power Partners here. And it was very important for the first episode to be with people that understand what Power Partners are,
Absolutely.
and given that you've been with us for a couple of months and a couple of years, and so you guys understand what it is that we're doing here together. Power Partners is not about one company, one business, one everything. It's about all of us together. And that's the message that I want to leave everybody with. It's about being together. It's about not feeling alone. It's about finding a community that actually really cares about you growing as an individual and as a business owner. And that is what we want to imprint on people's minds and in their hearts, because the heart part is very important to us. And so we ask you to come join us at Power Partners. Let it be your center of power. My name is Alexa Oliva, and I believe that if you're not loving, you're not living. So remember to live and love.
Yeah.